Hey guys, it's Realistic here, and I'm Ray. So, recently I've been uploading a lot of videos with my friend on Vylons, and you can go check that out. I'll post the thing in the link below. But right now I have my Chaos Dragon deck. So, I took actually a new take of Chaos Dragons after they got hit. I've been working on them for a while, and I actually went undefeated in a local tournament. So let's go ahead and get started. It's a bit unconventional. So yeah, pay close attention to my description. So we're gonna start with, I'll go over them again. Double Gravekeeper Spy, one, send it. Pretty obvious if you're running double Spy. Okay. And then we have double T-King, double Thunder King. And then we're going to have one Divine Dragon, one Card Trooper, another Card Trooper, double Spirit Reaper, triple Lila, Lightsworn Engine, and then the other part of the Lightsworn Engine, double Raikou, and then we have, one Eclipse Whipper, you only need one, and then triple Dark Flare Dragon, really good card, and then double Light Pulsar, only two, and then moving on we have double Effect Veiler, Monster Negation is always nice. And then we have one Honest limited cards. These are all limited cards. Too good. Let's see. Red MD, of course. Too good. Let's see. Chaos Sorcerer. Am I missing? No. Chaos Sorcerer. Limited. Darkrom Dragon. Limited. And then a BLS. You can't have a Chaos deck without this guy. Okay. And then we have the Seal of Oricalicos for spells. Book of Moon. One Monster Reborn. One Dark Hole and one Heavy Storm. And then we're almost at the end. Charge of the Light Brigade. One Allure of Darkness. Double MST. And then double Call the Haunted. And then lastly, we have one Return from the Different Dimension. Okay, so let's go over the cards a bit more slowly now, and I'll be actually describing why I made that choice. So starting off, we have the double Gravekeeper Spy and one Descendant combo. So one thing I thought about making this deck is that, wow, okay, so I have these Lightsworn cards that give me a lot of milling, and that's good, but they're also light. And Raikou doesn't exactly plus, because it usually gets run over anyways. So when people usually expect Raikou from you, what do? You know, mess up their strategy. So I mean, you can set this, they think it's like Raikou, so they just like, oh, okay, I'll just play Guiba, swing over it, and then it flips, and then you get another monster. And then on your turn, they're kind of scared to set back row because they get popped by this. So I mean, it's just really good. And it combos really well with Spirit Reaper, which I'll be going over. You can also go into a rank 4, which is also a really nice thing. You can go into Utopia and you get a Light in the Dark in the Grave. Let's see. Two Thunder King. If you don't open with like a Spy, which is probably your best opening, then you can go, arguably your best opening, then you can go Thunder King. I mean, it's really nice monster negation since you're not running a lot of traps, and it's a nice mill, and yeah, preventing other people from playing duality is always really fun. So one Divine Dragon. I was kind of hesitant about running this, but since I'm only running one Red MD, because I can only run one Red MD, I just decided to put this in. And Divine Dragon, it's really good if you have some like dead, like maybe Gravekeeper card in your hand. That's the bad thing about the engine. If you have these guys are dead, then you have Divine Dragon, you could pitch one, and then you add something really strong. So it's always a really fun card, and it's level 4, so that's nice. Okay, so double Card Trooper. This card works really well with Call the Haunted, because you could just chain onto it, you get a free draw. But this is really good, especially since you get a draw like pretty much no matter what they do, unless they want to spend the resources to banish it or something. And also, it lets you mill now instead of the end phase, like Lightsworn cards, like Lila. And Raikou, you have to set it first. So this gives you an immediate mill, so you can make some really cool plays from that by using stuff in your grave. Okay, moving on, double Spirit Reaper. As I said before, it works really well with the Gravekeeper engine, because you can just use Descendant's effect and pop their monster, or then pop back row maybe, and then use Reaper, and then swing onto them, and 300, but if you discard a card, that's really big, that's huge, because you can just win the game if you discard the right card. So I've actually won a lot of duels like that. So triple Lila, I mean, really nice. Immediate spell and trap destruction, really cool. Double Raikou. I mean, I'm not running 3 because I'm running the Gravekeeper engines because I don't want to have too many cards to set. So 2 is a good amount. Let's see. It's also really easy to read this card sometimes, so watch out. Okay, so 1 Eclipse Wyvern. Basically, there's not really much to search. You just want to get the red MD to your hand, and that's all you want. You don't. Dark Arm Dragon's not really that much of a priority to add to your hand. And most of the cases, one of them are milled anyways, and those are your only targets. So only run 1. It's also a really bad draw if you dead draw it. Let's see, triple Dark Flare. Dark Flare is really good. It lets you basically abuse this guy. Basically, these guys were made to work together. And by discarding a dragon, you can get rid of like maybe like a Divine Dragon, or maybe like a Light Pulsar if you want to go for a big play. And also to get a Light Pulsar in the grave. And this guy's basically one of the key cards of the deck. And notice how he's level 5, so you can go into rank 5s. I'll be going over that later. Double Light Pulsar. I decided to run only 2 instead of 3 because basically Light Pulsar, I didn't really want to run rank 6s. And Light Pulsar, he works really well with Red MD, but other than that, he doesn't really do much. He's just a beater, and he just stays on the field. So I just put him to 2. And there's not always going to be cards to banish from your grave. Let's see, 2 Effect Veiler. Monster Negation's really, really good. And especially since I'm not running any negation traps, then this works really well. And basically you can synchro with it, and it's a light, and you can negate monster effects. Pretty awesome. Moving on, 1 Honest, just too good basically. You can abuse with Thunder King, abuse with Lila, abuse with Light Pulsar. The list goes on and on. Abuse with BLS. Okay, 1 Red MD. It's not Chaos Dragons if you're not running this guy. It's pretty much the card of the deck. Any dragon deck needs this. It's just so good. 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Yeah, it's limited, but it's still something to be afraid of if you're playing against this deck. And the negations just... the banish is just really strong. You just win duels off that. Okay, 1 Dark Arm Dragon. Sometimes kind of dead, but I mean, you do banish a lot. And if you get this guy off, it's pretty much game. It's so good. So broken. 1 BLS. You're not running Chaos if you're not running this. And this guy is your biggest beater of the deck, and you can get over like pretty much anything. So yeah. It's too sacky. Okay, so 1 Seal of Orichalcos. Seal of Orichalcos is a really good card. It's pretty underrated in my opinion, but you have to watch out on what deck you're using it in because not all decks can support it. Especially like if you're running stuff that relies on a field card, obviously don't use it. And if you can't synchro summon, if you're relying on synchro summoning or XC, definitely don't run this. But since this deck is really like graveyard, just like banish attack from main deck monsters based, you can run this card. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna boost like all your dragons. Let's say we have this guy out, 3300 attack. That's insane. And then you can boost like Thunder King 2400. What's his face? Dark Flare to 2900. It just lets you get over so many stuff. But just be careful when playing it because... Hey, sorry about that guys, I had to move to a new room, so it's gonna look a bit different. Anyways, the Seal of Orichalcos, just be careful when you're playing it because it'll kill all your special summon monsters. I mean, that actually works okay with Light Pulsar because you can just kill Light Pulsar and then you get your Red MD out. But yeah, just be careful when you're playing it. It also boosts your Gravekeepers up to 2000. Well, one of them, so that's really fun. Okay, moving on. 1 Book of Moon. Book of Moon isn't that good anymore of a card overall, but I mean, since I'm not running that much negation, as much negation as I can have is really nice. And I can also use it to reuse like flip effects like Gravekeeper Spy and Raikou, so that's really cool. Okay, Monster Reborn, too good. Reborn BLS if it gets like Tarantulled. Heavy Storm and Dark Hole. Cards that are really, really good. Okay. Charge of the Life Brigade. Search out any Lightsworn monster. Really good, and it gives you a mil. 3 mil. That's really strong. And let's see, Allure of Darkness. If I wasn't running this card, I wouldn't be running the Gravekeepers because it's kind of inconsistent. But this lets you speed up your deck and get rid of cards you don't really want in your hand. That's good. Double Mystical Space. I would run 3, but I feel like triple Lila is enough with Heavy Storm. So you just have to be kind of careful when playing these, and don't use them too recklessly. Okay, and then moving on to traps. Double Call the Haunted. I used to play 3, but that was way too inconsistent. So I dropped it down to 2. And 2's been working pretty good for me right now. It works really well with Card Trooper. And if you can call the Haunted like BLS or something, if it dies after you summon it, or if you call the Haunted a milled card like Red MD, you'll get a ton of advantage. It's not even funny. So yeah, pretty good card, but don't run 3 because 3 is overkill. Okay, last card. People don't expect this, but it's crazy. Return from the different dimensions. So you can just banish a lot of monsters if they like Torrential and they have nothing. Then you can just flip this for a game, and it's also like really good if like to get, how do I put it? Like to get banished monsters back, because if they bottomless a BLS, they don't expect you to get it back. And it's good for like getting back Lila, and then you can like destroy a card on the field. And it's also good if you get back your Gravekeeper engine and then use your Gravekeeper engine to blow up cards. So yeah. And yeah, so that's it for the main deck. I'm going to be moving on to the extra deck right now. Okay, so in the extra deck, I'm going to start out with Stardust Dragon. It's not very good in the deck. It's not good in the deck. And so you should replace this with like maybe a rank 6 or a rank 5 if you can. Or maybe a rank 4. The good thing about it though is that it's a dragon. So if you do manage to get it out somehow, you can use Red MD to bring it back, which is pretty awesome. Giga Brilliant, it's really good for boosting all your monsters if you can't get over something. And you can use like Double Reaper or something to get into it. Black Rose Dragon. I mean, Black Rose is just really strong. And really the only way you're going to get it out if you reborn a tuner or you use a Effect Veiler from your hand. But it's really devastating. And it's a dragon too, so Red MD can bring it back. Okay, and Maestroke. Maestroke's really good for stalling, and it's a dark as well. So, I mean, it gives you a lot of cool utility as well as stalling power. Leviathan Dragon, it's a good beater in general. I mean, it's not very easy to get out on the deck, but if you can get it out, I mean, you have some good beater right there. You have a good beater right there, and you can use it to, you can banish it to special summon Red MD, or you can use Red MD to get it back, but just remember it can't attack. And Scrap Dragon, if you can get it out somehow, it's pretty devastating. Like, you can get rid of really stupid back row. And Scrap Dragon can also be brought back by Red MD, because it's a dragon. So yeah. Let's see, Wind Up Zenmain's really good for stalling if you need to with Reaper. Gachi Gachi, because you have Rykos, and if you need to, you can get into this. Wind Up Zenmains, you're running a lot of flip effects, so you can reuse flip effects. That's really cool, like more milling or more Gravekeeper stuff. Utopia, pretty much like one of the really good level 4 Exceeds. It gets you a Light in the Grave as well as Banish, so you could stall for a while. It's a really fun card. And then let's see, Queen Dragoon Jin. This works well with Maestro because it's a Jin. I actually find myself forgetting that sometimes, and it's good to get another monster out, so you can set up like an Adrius play, or like or just like a Banish monster for Red MD. And it's a dark too. Adrius, I've been talking about this a lot. It's really good. It wins games if you know how to use it. Pretty much the only way you're gonna get into it is through double Dark Flare, but that's not that hard to get out. And it's also pretty good stats and stuff. Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth. It's just good if you have a tuner and Dark Flare, you really need to get over something. Probably take it out. Okay, I'm not really sure why this is in here, but I guess I ran it for the tournament. It's not very good, but if you can get it out, it's pretty devastating. But yeah, don't rely on this. Okay, and the final card, Chimeratech Fortress Dragon. Since I had a lot of room in my extra deck, I could afford to main deck this, and I did size Cyber Dragons, so it would take up one less space in my extra deck, my side deck place, and also if they're running Cyber Dragons, then I can just just basically cheating and suck up their monster and bring out this. So yeah, that's it for my Chaos Dragon deck 2013, and I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down below. And my side deck, I won't really go into too much depth, but just because it was kind of wacky, but I ran double Cyber Dragon and one Veiler. That's pretty much all you need to know. Pretty much anything else is open for basically your decision. So yeah, it's Ray Listed here. I'm Ray. Thanks for watching. See you guys.
So one thing I took into consideration while making this deck is definitely Gores. It's a really good card, and I feel like most builds would run it, and if they don't, they're losing a lot of protection. But I decided to run the Seal of Oricalicos and Call the Haunted over this card because, well, basically when Call the Haunted and Seal are played, Call won't necessarily die. You don't really have a way to get rid of it, so it pretty much denies Gores, and Seal of Oricalicos pretty much just doesn't die, so you can't get out Gores. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I mean, this card's really strong though, and it's a monster too, so if you mill it, you will be able to banish stuff with it. So yeah, that's just my take on Gores. You can actually side it in if that's to your liking, and if you have space for it.